This is Dr. Tina. Thank you for being here with me today once again. And I appreciate you for subscribing, sharing, and liking. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I please urge you to do so. Just hit the subscribe button so that anytime I put a video, you will be the first to see it. Today, I'm going to talk about how I passed my PMHNP, or how I passed my psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner in one sitting. So a year ago, like I've stated in other videos of mine, I went and did certification for my psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner because I am a nurse practitioner in family, specialized in family. So I do see patients of all ages, but I deem it necessary to also have an idea about psychiatric mental health, because most patients that I see also tend to have issues with mental health as well. So it was necessary to do that, and I'm glad I did it. So it took me a year to complete the whole program, and then just a few months ago I went and took the test. I want to share some of the things I did that helped me to pass. In fact, after graduating, I never thought that it would be so overwhelming. I was so overwhelmed that I didn't even know what to do. A little bit distracted, but what I bear in mind was I called them to schedule. So when you schedule, you have 90 days to take that test. And so I kept on pushing it back. I pushed it back 3 times because I felt I was not ready. For the first time, I thought I was ready. I went ahead and took some sample of test to see how I was doing, and I made 82%. 82 I thought was okay, but then that test, you have to have 90 to pass. So that gave me a little shake, and I didn't bother to even go take it. So I had to push it back. For the first time when I was going to push it back, I registered online to change the date, and it charged me $25. I was like, I thought it's free. So I called them and they said now they are charging. So if you want to push it back, they will charge you $25. Right, so just mind you that if you want to schedule, make certain that you are going to take it in exact time. Otherwise, they will charge you $25 each. So I kind of studied, and I thought I had studied enough because I had done the readings, I had done several tests and all that, but still I wasn't confident. So one of the techniques that I did was, the few days to my test, I did a group study, which helped me tremendously. I had a group that I was studying with, a brother of mine I was studying with, and during the program. So when we were about to take the test, we decided to study together, in solving questions together, in discussing questions, and also the topics we think we are not comfortable with. That's what we did. So a few days to the test, we came together on the phone because we don't live in the same town. We live about 4 hours apart, but throughout the program, we were doing studies together, and that was very helpful. That helped us to graduate successfully. So we thought it's wise to come together and also do this together. And so we started solving questions. During the questions, we will bring a question out, discuss what that means, the topic around that question, discuss it among ourselves, and then we come out with the answer before we look. And that helped. That actually opened my mind. Solving a lot of questions like Quizlets, we came together to solve Quizlets together. We came together to solve other questions that we found online also together. And we did board vitals when we were in school, but I found that board vitals is very hard compared to the test, so we were not basing on the board vitals. So we didn't base our study on the board vitals, but we based our studies on some materials. Now, the material that we focused on most was this material. And as you've been following my videos, you will notice that I have started a PMH exam review series, and is based on this study book. It's made by, okay, I turned it. So it says psychiatric. I think in the video it turns out to be the opposite way, but anyway. So this is the book, the Purple Book. If you have heard about Purple Book, when I was in school, I heard about Purple Book, but I didn't know exactly what is it. It is cheaper on Amazon. I think I bought mine $25. It is used, but it's just new as new. So even though it's used, it's new. But in other departments that I saw, it was 100 and over. But in Amazon, you can get 23, 24, and even cheaper. So that's what we also based on. So if we do not understand anything, we just go back to this book and read a little bit about it. So before the group study, this is what I was doing. I said I was going to read this whole book, but I realized that I couldn't because I was working too much. So I couldn't read into detail. So what I did was I selected some topics that I wasn't familiar with, and then I went over it. So I went and read those topics that I thought that I'm not familiar with. And then those that I'm familiar with, I did not read it. So I solved most questions. But at the back, there are questions over there. Let me see. There are 100 questions over there. What I did was I read over the questions and answered them without looking. And then there's a rationale that answers at the back and also rationale. I read those rationale too, and that helped me. At the beginning, it was very hard to understand. If you do not know your content, no matter how many questions you solve, you won't get it. You have to understand your content. So because of time, what I did was those topics I feel like I'm not comfortable with, I go in here and read detailed about those topics and then answer them. Another thing I did was I also bought the IQ test, and it's made by the ANCC. And so I bought that one and I was solving it. I didn't take the test or the IQ test first. I went through the quizzes and I will select first quiz, and then I will just go through it. When you click on it, you choose your answer and then you submit it, and the rationale will pop out. So if you got it right, it will pop out as correct and give you the rationale. But if you do not get it too, it will pop out and give you the rationale. I made sure I went through all the quizzes and then read through all the rationale carefully. And so after finishing all the quizzes, I went to the test itself, where I was able to take the test, and I made 82%. That time I thought I did well, but the exam score was supposed to be 90. And so I felt like, okay, I couldn't make the 90. That means I'm not ready. So that shaked me a little bit to strategize in other aspects of studying. And so that is where I started taking notes. So anytime I'm studying or anytime I'm solving a question and I'm not familiar with the topic or I'm not familiar with that thing, I would then take notes. And I felt like it helped me a lot. Taking the notes helped me to retain all those information that I've read. And so that was very helpful. I was able to go through lithium, all those lithium aspects, the labs that's supposed to be done, and what to look out for. So like the labs, when we say lithium, the labs that's supposed to be tested, thyroid test, renal function, your pregnancy test, and then the side effects of lithium, GI disturbance, nephrotoxicity. So that's how I read, and that's how I took the notes. So I read it and took notes, and that helped me very well. So if you really want to pass this test, I urge you that you won't go wrong with it. IQ 2 at the ANCC IQ test, you won't go wrong with that. Taking notes, you won't go wrong with that. Solving Quizlets, you won't go wrong with that. Having a buddy to study with, I will encourage you to do that, especially you can solve questions together and that will help you. And I hope this helped you to pass. I also followed some people on YouTube to learn their lectures, and that helped me to understand certain things. And so mood disorders and their treatments, those kind of stuff. So remember to subscribe to my channel and share. And this is what I used. I used the Purple Book, IQ tests, my notes, Quizlet, and I did very well on the test. I passed on the first trial. I wish you good luck, and I know you will make it because you are ready and have prepared. If you have any question, don't hesitate. Again, this is Dr. Tina. You have a blessed day. Thank you.